Hello. How and why did towns and cities develop? It's a complex question, but what we can say is that most, quite probably all, were to some extent planned. In many cases it was piecemeal, evolution in stages rather than at a single stroke, but still planned, initially founded or developed as boroughs, either by the crown, the church or a feudal lord, who typically provided a legal and tenurial framework, the terms of which might be set out in a charter. Boundaries were defined, plots of land known as burgages made available for rent, plots which came with a range of privileges, such as freedom from tolls, trading rights, and varying degrees of self-government in order to attract tenants, known as burgesses, and a market was essential to successful growth. In many towns, this is Burton-on-Trent in Staffordshire, founded as a borough under the auspices of Burton Abbey in the late 12th century, the medieval layout of the planned town, its streets and burgage plots can be clearly seen fossilised in later development. Property boundaries can be remarkably enduring. A lord's patronage instilled confidence in both traders and their customers. It legitimised economic activity, bringing it under the jurisdiction of local manor courts that set and monitored standard weights and measures, provided a mechanism for resolving disputes and fixed times for trading. In a feudal age, becoming a burgage holder was an opportunity for those with enterprise to gain freedom from owing service to a lord. For the founder, it was commercial speculation. If the borough prospered, there would be rents, tolls, court profits and other benefits, but it required devolving power, granting rights and privileges in order to attract tenants. Over time, the more successful boroughs become increasingly independent. Once established, burgesses form a corporation, become more autonomous, and begin taking more and more control of their own affairs. No foundation charter exists for some incorporated boroughs where legal rights were accepted by prescription because they'd been established by precedent from earlier times. No foundation charter exists for London. A copy of a confirmation charter of 1130, supposedly issued by Henry I, granting additional privileges, may or may not be genuine. Without an original, opinion is divided, but most historians believe it is authentic, and even if it's counterfeit, it clearly shows the direction of travel, increasing independence, and the rights were later confirmed by King Stephen. Among the important points, it gave all the men of London freedom from toll throughout England, control of their own taxation, the right to appoint a sheriff, previously a crown appointment, plus hunting rights in the Chiltern Hills, Middlesex and Surrey. As England's leading commercial centre, the City of London had financial clout, and it would have paid a hefty sum for such privileges. The office of Lord Mayor of London evolved from the role of Port Reeve, a Crown official chiefly involved in raising finance from London businesses. The first Lord Mayor, Henry Fitz-Aylwin, was appointed around 1189, is commemorated by a Victorian statue on Holborn Viaduct, where he represents commerce. As part of the concessions surrounding Magna Carta in 1215, King John issued a charter granting the City of London the right to elect their own Lord Mayor. A state sword and a mace became the symbols of the Lord Mayors and the city's authority, carried at ceremonial events by the sword-bearer and sergeant-at-arms. The current state or Sunday sword, there are other ceremonial swords in the Mansion House collection, dates from the mid-17th century and is a little over 4 feet long. On the pommel are figures representing fame and justice. The civic mace evolved from the practical weapon carried by a royal bodyguard into a more elaborate emblem of authority. In 1344, according to the House of Commons, a richly decorated mace was the prerogative of the King's sergeants. The mace carried before the Lord Mayor of London is of gold and crystal set with pearls mounted on a medieval shaft, and its use in London was a special privilege. The right was extended to York in 1396, to Norwich 7 years later, and during the 16th century a mace became a widely adopted ceremonial symbol of civic authority. The oldest surviving civic mace belongs to Hedon in the East Riding of Yorkshire, an iron weapon used at the Battle of Agincourt, coated in silver and presented by Henry V along with a charter in 1415 granting the town additional privileges. The City of London authorities received a crystal sceptre from Henry, often described as a mace in the same year, for their support for his campaign in France. Towns adopted coats of arms as visible statements of civic pride and status. The arms of the City of London, a silver shield with the cross of St. George and an upright red sword, symbol of St. Paul, patron of the city, in the top left quarter, were in use from the 1380s. The motto was added in the early 17th century and translates as Lord Direct Us. This emblem of the city's authority is still to be seen everywhere in the city today. To be eligible for election as Lord Mayor of London, candidates have to be aldermen and have served as sheriff. The election by the liverymen of the city livery companies takes place at the Guildhall at Michaelmas, the 29th of September. Office is taken up on the second Saturday of November, and the Lord Mayor's show is held the following day, beginning with a grand parade to the Courts of Justice in the Strand to swear an oath of allegiance to the monarch. The livery companies will be my topic next time. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons and click on the notification bell to be informed when the next video is available, or you can subscribe by clicking on the rose window over my shoulder.